Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, we talk beef consumer trends with Dannette Amstein. She made a presentation at the Kansas Livestock Association meeting earlier this winter. We'll also have features from the Kansas Soybean Commission, Kansas Department of Agriculture, and Kansas Grain Sorghum, and the weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
And agriculture news from agview.net. Agricultural real estate values continue to increase at a rapid pace around farm country through the end of last year. The increase in the value of farmland has accelerated in recent quarters alongside elevated commodity prices that have boosted profit opportunities and supported broad strength in the U.S. farm economy. The Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City says farm finances and credit conditions have improved dramatically in recent years, and interest rates on farm loans remaining near historic lows. Now, that's added support to agricultural real estate markets. As we look at the year ahead, the outlook for agriculture credit conditions remains strong. Elevated commodity prices and robust support from government aid programs due to COVID-19 supported rapid improvement in farm income and credit conditions. Now, despite concerns about higher input costs and intensifying drought in some regions, markets for most major commodities remain strong, and producers are looking for sound profit opportunities in 2022. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack gave the keynote address at the USDA Annual Agriculture Outlook Forum. He called for the outlook of U.S. agriculture bright, strong, and positive despite those problems around the world. When asked about the impact of the battle in Ukraine, Vilsack said it's too early to make projections about what impacts the war would have on fertilizer and food prices in the U.S. He also says the administration will be supportive of state attorneys general in analyzing the history of fertilizer pricing. His biggest concern is that companies may be taking advantage of farmers. And international grain buyers are looking for different places to buy wheat and corn as the Russia invasion cut off Ukrainian supplies. Reuters says the European Union producers like Romania and France are being used to cover some nearby shipments, and the conflict is rattling international grain markets. European wheat futures hit record highs last week. Stalled shipments from Ukraine and Russia continue to be likely. Those two countries and current adversaries account for nearly a third of the world's wheat exports and almost a fifth of global corn exports. Find more ag news at agview.net. We'll have more in a moment.
The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. And agview.net, serving the beef belt and western corn belt with reliable and relevant agriculture information. agview.net.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the Soybean Checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and Checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Joining us now is Dannette Amstein with Maiden Marketing, and she presented at the Kansas Livestock Association meeting on some consumer trends. And I think the crux was what's happened after COVID. But I was in there a little bit and saw some of the things that I don't know if they're alarming, but we still have a long way to go when it comes from the production side, making that connection with consumers.
We do. We have to keep in mind that our consumers are always changing. There's always another generation, a new batch coming forward. And I sound like a broken record when I say this, but we're at a point where we're so far removed from the farm that we have to re-educate, inspire, and keep them interested in what we have to offer in order to keep them buying our products.
So as we talk about that, there's so many things that have changed. The world was turned upside down because of COVID.
Yeah.
And those of us that report on agriculture, produce some of these goods, we go, okay, what are we going to do with all these products? And then, but the consumers, did they really change, or did they have time to get enlightened, or what did some of your findings come up with?
I think there's three things that really that are maybe silver linings for us in the beef industry out of COVID. The first was everybody stayed home, so we had to learn to cook again, and most consumers had a rhythm to the standard items they cooked before, so now they learned to change that up, whether they wanted to or not, because of whether they could get the products. When we had the shortages in stores, they had to switch up what they were getting. So I think we gained more cooking, more folks that were cooking. We gained more confidence in cooking. And then the other thing is we got comfortable. We, as I say, collectively as consumers, got comfortable with other people picking our meat. We didn't have to go to the grocery store and pick it anymore. So what that's done is open up a whole new world by which producers, if they so choose to brand and sell direct, or co-ops or other groups can sell meat products online.
I think that was one thing that probably of the things that you mentioned was that, and some of us don't think about that, there's a lot of that online shopping, and you're not there to pick out those proteins, especially, and we all know we have that discussion about pork and poultry, but beef is kind of still held to maybe a little different standard.
Consumers like to pick up the packages and look at them and decide between the two, right? And we lost that opportunity when everyone was just trying to stay home, and Instacart or retailers, most retailers, 91% of consumers were using retailers to make the selections for them, and then they were either having it delivered or they were picking it up. And what we found was consumers are now, like, that was a scary thing to have someone else pick your meat, because you were scared. But we found that consumers did it, got more comfortable. I'm an example of that. I was doing Instacart, and I would ask my Instacart shopper to send me a picture of the meat case so I could still pick. But after that, I got more comfortable with it. I don't even do that anymore. Right. So it's baby steps that's really going to help us open up our products and our story to more consumers when they're willing to buy it online.
Dannette Amstein is joining us. Let's take a quick break. We're going to explore more about the story and what's in store in the future. We'll do that in just a moment.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
And Dannette Amstein with Miden Marketing is joining us. She was at the Kansas Livestock Association meeting and talking about consumer trends. We've been talking about maybe some lessons learned, but also kind of what's happened after COVID. So we went to break. You said this is giving us a great opportunity, maybe a better opportunity to tell our story. And I would hope so, because one of the things that's kind of grown out of this is people trying to reconnect directly to the farms. We've seen a lot of farmer direct marketing, but we also know while that fills some needs, that doesn't feed a hungry world.
No, it doesn't. And so we need everyone across the entire channel, particularly in the production side of the channel, to be able to contribute where it makes the most sense for them, whether that's locally in their county or in their state, or being part of sending product across the world to feed people. But the theme across each one of those is every consumer wants to know and understand the story. One of the other things that came out of COVID was this desire to understand why we produce the animal we produce and how we care for them. I really saw an increase in that need to know. There always will be a segment of consumers who are like, yeah, I don't care. But the segment of consumers that is growing in the need to know area, I want to know why you raise animals. I want to know why you raise cattle, and then I want to know why you raise them the way you raise them.
Lab cultured, cell cultured, alternative type meats, and our traditional, harvesters are getting into that market as well. So does that confuse the consumer? Because, and so they go, well, it still has brand X on that ground beef or on that maybe cultured product. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of confusion. What we're seeing, particularly with our Gen Zers. So our Gen Zers, we just got our first couple of years of them out of college. They're starting to make their own decisions on what they're eating. They have that cell phone in their hand all the time, and they're demanding information about the product. So the only way we're going to overcome that confusion and put us in a position where we have more people thinking about our product is to be fully transparent in what we do, why we do it, and also to tell the emotive story, the emotion behind why I get up in the morning and feed animals, why I go out in the storm and break the ice, and why I've done this for generations, because consumers really want to know that too.
Quickly, you make the presentation, there was a lot of ranchers in there. What's been their reaction? Does that do your heart good to see that those that are producing really are taking a keen interest in this?
Yeah, it was. I felt very honored and privileged that they were asking the questions, and I hope some of them go home and start TikTok channels. I really think that's important that they get on the platforms and share their story.
Very good. All right, Dannette Amstein, who's the managing principal with Miden Marketing, has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
If you grow soybeans, you pay into the Soybean Checkoff. 0.5% of the price of soybeans is collected, and half of that stays in-state to be invested by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The other half is remitted to the National Checkoff managed by the United Soybean Board. The Checkoff has one goal: to improve the profit potential of soybean growers. It funds production research, new use development, international market development, outreach efforts, and more to achieve its goal of bringing value to those who contribute. It might seem that contributing to the checkoff means you automatically become a member of the Kansas Soybean Association. That is not the case. By law, the checkoff cannot cover lobbying costs and therefore has no influence over policies that affect the way you farm. KSA relies on membership dues of $70 per year per member, plus sponsorship from corporate partners to do its important work in the State House in Washington, D.C. Membership is entirely voluntary and comes with additional perks such as seed coupons and discounts at certain stores. The association and commission work in tandem on behalf of Kansas soybean growers. KSA is the commission's largest contractor and through the support of the commission manages projects like the Kansas Soybean Expo and other non-legislative activities. To see how each organization brings value to your farm, visit www.kansassoybeans.org.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
The second week of March is not only Flood Safety Awareness Week, but also Severe Weather Awareness Week. These events are reminders about the importance of preparing for and understanding flooding and other impacts of severe weather in Kansas. And they give us an opportunity to encourage all citizens to better prepare your homes, businesses, and communities for the upcoming severe weather season. At the Kansas Department of Agriculture, our Division of Water Resources includes a floodplain management team, which focuses on the significant threat that flooding causes in Kansas. Floods are a threat throughout the state, and they can happen anytime, anywhere, and without warning. And this spring will bring seasonal rainfall which can produce the potential for flooding. Before the severe weather season arrives, be familiar with the potential risks for flooding and other threats in your area, and prepare an emergency kit. When extreme weather hits, monitor your local radio or TV for information. And during a storm, follow the key safety tips. Don't walk through flowing water, stay away from downed power lines, and be aware that flash flooding can occur and never drive into flooded areas. Our floodplain management team uses advanced digital data to map flood hazard areas as accurately as possible, and we update those floodplain maps periodically to keep pace with new technology and changing communities. We have many useful flood safety resources on our website at agriculture.ks.gov/floodplain. Another great resource for the agriculture community to prepare for severe weather is the website prepforagthreats.org. It includes great information on flood preparation, as well as thunderstorms, tornadoes, wildfires, and much more. Severe weather threatens people, homes, and property in every county throughout the state. Thanks for doing your part to prepare during Flood Safety Awareness Week and Severe Weather Awareness Week.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
The Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission held their Winter 2022 board meeting at American Ag Credit in Salina, Kansas to hone in on the year ahead and receive reports from state and national staff deeply ingrained in the sorghum industry advancements this year. The commission is comprised of sorghum farmers from the 9 USDA crop reporting districts of Kansas, elected each year by Kansas sorghum farmers themselves. Presenting to the Commission were staff for the Collaborative Sorghum Investment Program housed at Kansas State University, as well as United Sorghum Checkoff Program staff, fulfilling a picture of new opportunities for sorghum growers in the near future. And speaking of new opportunities, Kansas Grain Sorghum has recently welcomed Parker Volgamore, a student at Kansas State University from Scott City, onto our staff as Kansas Grain Sorghum's 2022 Collegiate Fellow. And in the same week that the Commission met, Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission Chairman Kevin Knievel presented annual commodity testimony on behalf of the sorghum industry to the Kansas House and Senate Agriculture Committees, reporting on the 2021 growing year and educating policymakers about dynamics in the year ahead. Chairman Knievel, a sorghum farmer near White City, discussed the meaningful year the sorghum industry in Kansas has seen in 2021, noting a 20% increase in acreage to 3.6 million acres of sorghum planted throughout the state and a national average price per bushel of $5.85 last year. In fact, this past year's national sorghum crop was valued at $2.7 billion, the most valuable U.S. sorghum crop in history. Read more about 2021's highlights for Kansas sorghum in the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission's annual report, found online at ksgrainsorghum.org. Reporting for Kansas Grain Sorghum, this is Adam York.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
The Kansas Livestock Foundation now is accepting applications for 2022 through 23 scholarships. Applicants must be graduates of a Kansas high school and enrolled at a Kansas community or senior college for the fall 2022 semester. The Merck Cartridges for Cash program offers $1,500 scholarships to Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine students and $1,000 awards to undergraduates studying animal science and planning to be actively engaged in livestock production. Hemp Hill Oil will offer $1,000 scholarships to juniors and seniors at K-State and Fort Hays State University. Go Bob Pipe and Steel will sponsor a $1,000 award for a student sophomore year or above attending a Kansas junior or senior college. Proceeds from the 2021 Kansas Cattlewomen Silent Auction and KLF Club Calf Sale will fund $1,000 KCW and Youth and Agriculture scholarships. Scholarships in the amount of $1,500 will be offered in memory of Douglas A. Lau, a past chairman of the KLA Cattle Feeders Council. These will be awarded to junior or senior students at K-State or Fort Hays State. Glenn and Clyde Lindstrom scholarships in the amount of $1,000 also are being offered, with preference given to students from USD 400. A $1,000 Scott Johnson and Family Scholarship will be offered to students attending K-State and pursuing a degree in animal science, ag communications, agribusiness, or agricultural economics. One application applies to all the scholarships and can be accessed on KLA.org. All materials must be digitally submitted by April 20th.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Mitch Dewar here with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Omicron fears have eased. We saw both the stock market and crude oil bounce back from a rather large sell-off. There's still a lot of unknowns about the variant, but markets felt comfortable enough to move off the lows and back to a familiar trading range. The grain markets felt the pressure from the variant and the outside markets, as we saw a couple of large down days. As did crude in the stock markets. Once some time passed and fears eased, corn and soybeans were able to move back to levels before the variant. After South America's great start to the planting and growing season, dryness has started to creep into southern Brazil, and especially in Argentina. It's still early in the year, but as we move down the calendar, the trade will be looking harder at South America's weather and crop conditions. Wheat has continued to be volatile and is off its new 8-year high put in the day before Thanksgiving. The trade continues to process all the headlines the wheat market has to trade. Bulls are looking at the dryness here in North America, along with rising tensions with Russia and Ukraine. The bears are looking at the global weather as it seems to be improving, along with weak U.S. export demand. As a wheat producer, this is an ideal time to analyze your position on both old crop and new crop wheat, looking at both your downside and upside risk in the following months and being prepared for a violent swing in either direction. The cash live cattle market has continued to strengthen. Cash continues to be premium to futures. Futures should look to follow the cash trade as we enter the end of the year, along with a couple weeks of shortened kill due to the holidays. Futures are also watching the demand side as we continue to see boxed beef slip during a typical seasonal holiday rally. If you would like to discuss the markets or look at a marketing plan for your operation, give us a call at 888-452-8751. I'm Mitch Dewar with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom.
Well, that's our show this week. Be social with us at KansasAgReport.net or our social media channels. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Does your health plan lack dental and vision coverage? With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you can get a dental and vision bundle for yourself or your family at an affordable price, giving you the ability to maximize your benefits and lower your costs. Plus, you'll get a solid network of providers in one convenient package. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.